You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Team Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
Yeah, here we go. Tag team. Whoop, there it is. Bringing it up. Because we had a tag team filled night of AfterBuzz. Well, SmackDown, but we got a tag team here for AfterBuzz SmackDown. What's up, everybody? I'm Christian Rosenberg. Hold on down. Just with one person across the table from me this week, Miss Kaori. Takee, how are you?
I'm your tag team.
You're my tag team partner this evening.
Exactly.
Ro Moore is out of town this week. No worries, he'll be back next week. I think he was just more so really depressed and devastated that he was one match away from a perfect score on the pay-per-view this past Sunday, but instead that match went to Josh and Tom the Calm Connolly.
Dear.
And Showtime retained his predictions title, which I'm furious.
Well, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know the real reason why he managed to retain that title.
Corey's taking credit for telling him his pick, so collusion was.
Would you have not picked AJ Lee if
I did
I
pick
was in
AJ.
costume?
I picked AJ.
If you were going for Brie? That is what I'm saying. I'm saying that he was going to go for Brie. But
AJ was one of the only 3 matches I think I got right. I think I ended.
You know what? You do terrible.
I was dead last on this pay-per-view out of all of us.
You do pretty terrible a lot of times. I think it's because you try to be very cute about it.
No, it's funny. Actually, Ryan Klum and I were talking about it afterwards because him and I were the bottom 2. I was just probably the 2 with the most wrestling knowledge. We do the worst on the predictions because we think too hard.
Exactly. You guys think very, very hard. And it is getting a little tougher because as they keep coming in, I'm starting to think more and more about them too. So.
And Tom the Calm now has a Money in the Bank AfterBuzz briefcase.
Good luck at cashing that one in.
I don't even know how exactly it works, but I'm guessing he can pick a match that's scheduled and whatever the outcome of that match is, if he wins it, then he wins the title. We'll see. But yeah, if you haven't watched this week's main event, just watch the first 5 minutes of it. For one, the costumes, and B, Tom the Calm's promo. I don't know. He kind of competed with you in your promo that you gave last week.
Oh yeah, no, he was excellent right there.
He was live on. Yours was recorded. It was live,
a threat,
unscripted, right on camera. It was pretty good.
But he didn't have the dog.
No.
I mean, that's the top right there. She was serious.
But he dressed up as Zack Ryder.
He did. Now, he was a good Zack Ryder as well.
Yes.
I like that.
And you know what else was good? Tonight's SmackDown overall, I thought it was pretty good. The matches were solid, although there was only 4. A 2-hour show, we had 4 matches.
It's hard for me to believe there was only 4.
There was only 4 matches.
I'm like, you must be lying to me.
Tampa expected more out of SmackDown, I think. Well, as far as more action. But we started the night off with the new World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. John Cena. Coming down to the ring and going back to his thugonomics roots.
Yeah, what was going on there?
All of a sudden, he was gone for 2 months and come back talking like he did in 2004.
Yeah,
where he's adding a little bit of hood to his speak.
I mean, for someone who speaks so well on GMA, the Today Show, and HLN, it was quite a drastic difference right there. I don't know what happened there. I didn't like it myself, and it's not my thing.
I don't know. I don't mind it, but it depends on what the situation is for it. Because when he was the full-on kind of white rapper gimmick early in his career, I loved it. Because I thought it was a little different for what they had at that time, and he did such a good job at it that I was like, oh, I'm fine with it. But now all of a sudden, today and on Raw, it was that guy as the hustle, loyalty, respect, super good guy Cena. It's just no, the two of them kind of clash a bit, and he's out there kind of celebrating with SmackDown because now he's pretty much Mr. SmackDown, being he's the World Heavyweight Champion. And we're thinking he's going to get interrupted by Alberto Del Rio. Maybe he'll get interrupted by Damian Sandow. Maybe he'll just get interrupted by Vicky, or maybe Triple H, Orton. Many options. But he is actually interrupted by your boy.
And I'm very happy with that option that
the
WWE
Real
chose.
Americans and Zeb Colter came out to interrupt Cena.
And it's funny because they come out and they're Real Americans, and you're thinking, gosh, Cena would be so good with them too, but it's never going to happen.
Well, no, because Zeb comes out and he wants to congratulate Cena for getting the World Heavyweight title off of Alberto Del Rio and bringing it back to America where it belongs. So he's like, John, unlike these people here in Tampa who clearly have no moral values and no moral compass, you have a lot in common with the Real Americans. And in doing so, Zeb then officially invites John Cena to join the Real Americans. And naturally, John Cena will be like, that's a great offer. I'm in. When do I start?
I love John Cena's face.
Yes.
That's actually the Brian. There we go.
Put a hand over your heart and say, we, the people. You didn't say it with me.
I can't say it because you know what?
What? Are you not a people?
Well, Zeb Colter.
She is not a people, Phil.
I don't think Zeb Colter likes Asians, all right? He talks smack to Yoshitatsu, so I can't call myself a Real American.
Yeah, you were born in Paris, right?
Yes.
And you're Japanese descent.
Yes.
So you're not a real American. I'm putting my hand on my heart. Zeb, I am one of you. We the people. The people. Thank you, Phil.
Oh, you too, right there.
Yes. So Cena shockingly declines the invite. And we get the comedy Cena. But this was like the comedy Thugonomics PG Cena.
And you know,
that's a bad mix.
It didn't look right. And then when he was talking first to Swagger, then he went to Cesaro, and then when he went to Colter, he sounded more like Hickey. He changed into his accent for a third time.
It changes. Swagger looks like Biff from Back to the Future.
It's true. He does.
Cesaro, he's heard a lot of great things about him, but whenever he sees him in the ring, all he can do is stare at his giant nipples.
I understand.
That remind him of Papa John's pizzas.
It was. I liked it. It was kind of funny, but then it was really cheesy too. But that's because I like watching Cesaro get attention.
Was it cheesy because it was pizza? No, it was stupid.
I like cheese.
It was stupid. Like
it was. Yeah.
It's not delivery. It's Cesaro.
I love how Cesaro likes to dramatize. Like when you watch like Swagger and Cesaro's a lot more dramatic with his actions.
More emotional with it.
I love it.
Yeah, well, that's what you should be
He's
doing.
like, hey, don't call me pizza nipples or whatever.
Don't offend me.
Pepperoni tips
Now I'm going to be self-conscious about my areolas. And then he goes to Zeb, who says that he looks like Yosemite Sam who had too many Zimas and went to a bar with the guys from Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, and that was kind of like, all right, that's...
Yeah, well, everyone's already pretty much said things like that anyway. Not the Zima part, but...
The Duck Dynasty, Quack.
Zimas aren't even made anymore, right?
I don't think so.
And being that it's a more show of a younger audience crowd, none of them are going to know what a Zima is.
Yeah, I mean, John Cena is confused.
Apparently. And, but the three of you know what you're all full of? You're all full of Britney Spears' initials.
What?
If you can't figure out what that is, Cesaro, that's BS, which means bad stuff. What the hell was that?
That was so unnecessary. I didn't like that part at all.
Cena could have dropped a couple comedic lines and then shot into the serious Cena mode, and this would have been a fine promo. But he just went way over the top with the corniness, and it was just like it was one of those I'm watching like, what? Like, am I supposed to laugh or be intimidated by this? Because I'm not with either.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It wasn't a very good one on his end.
Yeah. But then he gets interrupted by Damian Sandow. So now Sandow's here.
Nice.
Phil is so on point with this music, it's not even funny.
That's why we have him. Yes. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is, I believe, AfterBuzz is episode number 5001 today.
We are 5001.
We're 5001.
That's amazing.
Boom.
Lucky Lucky us.
Thanks to guys like Mr. Phil Svitek, who runs pretty much just this whole wonderful facility and has the time to have our music ready to perfection. So Sandow comes out pretty much calling Cena a hypocrite and saying, you don't know the first thing about American values because you're a false champion. You were handed, the typical you were handed everything while we work for it. The same type of promo that almost everyone tries to do on Cena.
Yeah.
And Cena's looking at him and is like, oh, really? Like, no, we've heard this all before. Sandow, you can do better than this.
He's upset.
Well, he's naturally upset because he blew his money in the bank on Monday.
He literally blew it away.
Well,
I mean, I'm more upset than I ever thought I could be.
How many times did we count better opportunity,
oh my gosh,
storyline opportunities that
so
Sandow, cash it in now, and then he tries to on Monday and fails.
Yeah, I remember when
and he's the first one that was pinned when he cashed in.
When he was about to do it as a joke on Raw, I was like, "Don't do it," and then he didn't, and I was like, "Yes," and then he did it, and I was like, "No," and I'm just so upset about that whole thing. But Cena on SmackDown.
I mean, well, as long as they keep Cena a main event pitcher, I do think though Cena with the World Heavyweight title and primarily, I mean, he'll be obviously on Raw too.
Yeah.
But more so on SmackDown is really good for him.
I agree.
And the reason being is since SmackDown they could dub the audience. And they dub him full of cheers.
Yeah.
Even though that crowd is not necessarily, I mean, I'm sure they're, it's probably like the 50-50 like your usual Cena crowd. But with that, then the newbie fans, if new fans come in, they say, we're really cheering this guy. And also, one thing that SmackDown is good at is whether they're trying to really push someone as a face or as a heel, and they add the extra sound effects with it.
That's a good
when
point.
you go to live crowds, more often than not, it helps.
Yeah.
Because then, people have listened to it, so they'll go for that. Now, Cena is a whole different breed because Cena, everyone knows Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, will this actually help him at all? Because the crowd is kind of 50-50 with Sandow. And I love Sandow.
I think that's happened.
Scott Narver,
recently.
main event, dressed it as Sandow this year.
And I think that Sandow thing, more people used to be behind Sandow until recently.
Well, they were all pissed at how he cashed in the money in the bank.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why they did it that way, but whatever.
No.
I mean.
Well, Sandow and the Real Americans and Zeb all surround Cena. Looks like, there's about to be a beatdown. Who will possibly try to save John Cena? Will anybody be able to be brave enough to stand side by side with the World Heavyweight Champion? Well, fear not, because our tag team champions, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, yes.
Yep. I like that.
Oh, that's what he does.
I know, but I like you doing it.
That's the one Goldust impression. The only part. I can't do anything else with Goldust except So they come down to make the save, chase off the Real Americans and Sandow, and now comes Vicky to announce tonight's main event, 6-man tag.
Once again, a 6-man tag.
Once again, a 6-man tag. However, this one different.
I like this one.
And I'm okay with it because we got Sandow in the main event, you got the Real Americans in the main event, Cody and Goldust, who can't go anything wrong, and obviously makes sense for Cena to be there.
Yep.
So this 6-man, I'm cool with.
Solid wrestlers right there.
Yes.
Cesaro as well.
Then we get
my sneak attack.
I like that. Then we get backstage with The Shield. And it's Dean Ambrose leading the promo. And, they're getting sick and tired of the Usos sticking their nose in their business. We've proven that you're not contenders, you're speed bumps. And tonight, I'm going to take this one, kind of something along those lines. I'm going to take this one, and Rollins and I. And Roman gives him just a little glance. Just that. The small glance.
I'm telling you.
And I saw that small glance on Raw as well.
And I am telling you, Christian, a couple weeks, episodes ago on SmackDown AfterBuzz, you two we were talking about one of them possibly turning face, and I said, I want Roman Reigns, and you said, it's not going to happen, but...
Well, don't take my quote out of context. We all said we want it to be Roman Reigns.
But I said it would be.
You said it would be, but we thought it would be Rollins, but we want it to be Roman. Now... that still remains to be seen, but they're starting to plant those seeds.
And I like it.
And
I love it.
And we find out more so during the match of the Shield of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus the Usos. And I did find this kind of interesting by JBL on commentary because he brought up the fact that the Usos, all their lives, all they want to do is become tag team champions. And when they got to WWE, they want to become the next sibling tag champions. And all of a sudden, in comes Cody and Goldust, and they steal their thunder. And then, they had their number one contender spot and didn't really, get that.
I agree with you there. I feel kind of when you put it that way, that's a really, really solid point. But Goldust and Cody Rhodes, the Rhodes family.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, yeah, it's obviously the Rhodes. Well, the Usos obviously they have a lot of legacy in wrestling too, because every American Samoan somehow is related in WWE. I mean, I think Roman is
or not. They're just all related.
Reigns is somehow crossed by in like if you do the 6 degrees of separation,
cousin or something.
He's The Rock's cousin.
Yes.
And like you trace it with The Rock, and like they all become one with Peter Maivia, High Chief, But it's just like the interesting thing. I was like, wow. Well, so the Usos really should kind of have sour grapes and be bitter because they were the number one contenders, never got their one-on-one tag team title match once they became number one contenders, but we haven't got an opportunity to see any bitterness, or are they just going to kind of brush it off like, oh, it's no big deal?
Well, if they turn bitter, like they'd be heels, right?
Not. I mean, it's one thing if like you turn bitter and then start yelling and being mad at Goldust and Cody. I'm not necessarily suggesting that, but I'm suggesting, get angry, be more aggressive, make yourself noticed even more. Then, if you feel like you're being overlooked, you don't have to necessarily turn heel to do that.
I don't think they're being overlooked just because they didn't get the tag team title just yet. They're not going against 3MB or anything, so they're going against...
No, we got Los Matadores to take care of that.
Yeah, so the Usos will have their time. I believe in that.
I mean, I'm thinking that too, but at the same time, the Usos have been around for like over 4 or 5 years now. And I swear, Hell in a Cell was the first pay-per-view match that they've had. I could be wrong on that. Someone in chat room could please correct me. At Hell in a Cell this past Sunday.
Do pre-shows count?
No, I'm not counting pre-shows.
Okay.
On the actual pay-per-view, I swear that was the first time they were. And I don't mean, and like, I'm not counting Rumbles or Lumberjacks. I'm talking about competing in a tag team match. I really think that was the first time. So you want to talk about such a slow build with a team? It's been like snail-like slow with them.
At the same time, from March to now, they really skyrocketed really quick too. So it's kind of like snaily, and then
since that show premiered on
I think one of them's dating Holly,
that diva total
that
show,
helps,
whatever it's called. That show that comes back on November 10th, and then we'll be back the following night with
which I can't wait for.
So this match, Shield starting out dominant, no surprise there. There's a point where Jey Uso is thrown outside the ring, and Reigns is like slowly almost stalking his prey.
Yeah.
And then Big E's music hits, and out comes Big E to kind of even the odds that stay on the outside. I'm happy Big E came out there. I'm not happy they did not let him wrestle tonight because they were in his hometown.
It was almost kind of like why. I guess he was out there because he was in his hometown?
No, they're actually, and I like this, kind of continuing his feud with Ambrose. So he went out there, but it was just like, if they wanted to do that on Raw, they had him have his U.S. title rematch.
Yeah.
Where then they quickly just fell apart and went to the 6-man. It would have made more sense to do that tonight in the hometown.
Right.
Because then the crowd is super behind him. I mean, the crowd was already behind him, but even more so, you have it going to DQ, they do their 6-man and do whatever they need to do. But by just having him kind of stand around there, it's just like, well, he's not getting the hometown pop that he should be.
Yeah, he's not being able to take advantage of it.
But I mean, there are plenty. I mean, almost all the time, the guys who get the hometown pop end up losing their match or whatever happens. But he didn't even get his match, period.
No, he didn't.
No,
but I mean, he made his SmackDown cameo, I guess you can say.
SmackDown cameo. And then the one other thing that really surprised me I'm not surprised that the Usos won the match. Because I figured with the way the Shield has been going lately, it wouldn't surprise me that they lost. However, I was very surprised that Ambrose took the pinfall. The reason being is, you just had the United States champion get pinned by one half of a tag team.
Maybe they're making him a little weaker so Roman Reigns can break out. Maybe.
Which, I mean, again, I don't have a problem with that, but Ambrose should not be, if he's a United States champion, if he is holding a title that is not a tag team title, he should not be pinned in a match against a tag team.
Well, stranger things have happened, but yes, I agree with you. I mean, yes.
But then that led to Ambrose snapping at the end, beating up Jimmy Uso, but then Big E comes in to take out Ambrose, sets him up for the big ending. Reigns runs in, takes out the leg of Big E, and kind of scurries Ambrose out of the ring to protect him. Big E gets back on his feet. Usos come back in the ring, and it's the three of them and just Roman Reigns. So naturally, in a typical heel fashion, Roman Reigns should hightail it with the rest of the Shield. But no.
A very poetic fashion. He stands his ground.
He stands his ground ready to fight all three of them. And Ambrose and Rollins have to pull him out of the ring.
I like where this is going, or what it looks like it's going.
It's intriguing.
Yes.
Because you're thinking, I believe it was TLC last year, which is the December pay-per-view. I know that's your personal favorite pay-per-view of the year. That was where I believe the Shield made their debut, just about a year ago.
I think right before that.
Was it the pay-per-view
like on a
before
Raw
that?
or something.
No, it was on a pay-per-view.
Okay, it was a pay-per-view before that then or something.
Was it Survivor Series? It was right around this time, a year ago.
It might have been Survivor Series.
Okay.
Okay. If
Someone
anyone in the chat knows,
they'll know for sure.
Tell us, chat.
Because they helped Punk defeat Ryback, whichever one that was, whether Survivor Series or TLC. And now we've pushed a year. We've gone, honestly, really around the amount of time that we thought the Shield could last. Now, who knows how long they might drag this out? Who knows if we're overseeing it and nothing's going to come of it? Next week, they could just scrap it and keep going. We thought they were starting to disband them, and then they had them align with Triple H and Orton.
Well, I'm glad to see that the Shield, they're kind of like not revamping, but they're doing something with the Shield. Because for a while, they were title holders, but I was starting to get bored with them after a while. Now that finally something's happening, you got Roman Reigns a little upset, maybe turning...
Well, they're getting upset because they are not winning matches.
Which means that something's happening.
Exactly.
So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so, we're going to have to wait and see how this continues to unfold in the weeks to come. Maybe something with Survivor Series where the three of them plus somebody have a traditional Survivor Series match, and say Reigns is the sole survivor of that match, or Ambrose, or I don't know. So many options.
There's many.
So many. So we'll see what happens with that. Then we get
Survivor Series was a debut. Thank you, Chris.
It was Survivor Series. Okay.
Yes.
So in a few weeks it will be a year.
And everybody else. Thank you, AJ. I have to thank everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat. All right.
Oh, well. Speaking of AJ, how about a shout out to AJ for retweeting you?
Yay! Thank you, AJ.
You were retweeted, and then you just got a boatload of followers from it.
I'm wearing her shirt today.
And you kept the AJ theme going, even though Halloween has come and gone.
Well, breast cancer awareness it should never be just 1 month.
Well, yes, I wasn't talking about that serious issue. I was talking about the AJ T-shirt. I wasn't talking about the serious issue of breast cancer. Thanks for making me feel terrible.
You're a terrible human being.
I am.
Rosie, follow the rosebuds. I can't even speak.
What? Do you know the line? Join the garden and follow the rosebuds, Kaori.
Join the garden and follow
Tell
the
all your new followers to join the garden.
Join the garden.
All right. That sounded sincere. So
it was.
So, speaking of following, with the buzzards and my costume from last week, right on cue. He's so good at that.
Hard for you to keep that beard on.
Oh, that beard was. By the time I got home, half the beard was gone because I somehow digested it all because it kept falling in my mouth.
Gross.
Recap of the Wyatts from Raw attacking Punk and Dan O'Brien. And then we're getting ready for Primetime Players versus the Wyatt family. But instead of the typical entrance, we get a promo from Bray where on the Titantron he mentions how we live in a world where false heroism is a sickness and must be dealt with. I know what plagues them, and I hold the cure in the palm of my hand. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. And then he blows out the lantern, and no music, no nothing. They're all already in the ring. And they're going to take on the Primetime Players. And this was kind of a glorified squash match. was just a few minutes long. Wyatt's dominant pretty much the whole time. There goes that 3-week primetime players push.
Yeah,
and,
where did that go?
And Wyatt's win.
And they were selling merchandise on Raw.
Yeah, they were selling the merch on Raw and then jobbing on SmackDown to the Wyatt family. And just the Wyatt's looking dominant and trying to figure out what's happening. Why did they attack Daniel Bryan and CM Punk on Raw? And is their whole issue with The Miz now done?
Well, I don't think so. I don't know, actually, after today.
Well, after they did nothing with him on Raw and nothing tonight on SmackDown.
Here's the thing about the Wyatts, though. The moment they're in the ring, you know it's the most predictable match ever. And it's been like that ever since they debuted.
No, a few weeks ago they had that awesome match with Cody and Goldust.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little different because Cody and Goldust.
Why is that different? Maybe they're building us up. Maybe we're going to have the Wyatt family versus Punk and Daniel Bryan.
That could work.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. They might be listening to you. Sometimes it happens.
They always listen to us.
It works.
They listen to us.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, they listen because they know what we want and they know.
Are they rosebuds?
They are rosebuds, absolutely.
Oh dear, that means everyone should be rosebuds.
Everyone. Then we get the recap of the most confusing part of Raw to me was with Kane. Kind of just
that didn't
being
make
like,
sense.
Stephanie, you're horrible. You're manipulating people. You're a terrible human being. But in this day and age, it's best for business. So I'm going to give you my mask and I'll be at your beck and call.
I have no idea what to say about that because it makes no sense. I can't make any sense of it.
Well, to me, it makes sense if all of a sudden next week on Raw we begin a feud. Somehow they reinstate Big Show and have Big Show versus Kane for Survivor Series. But they're pretty much setting up Big Show versus Orton. So where does Kane fall in this?
With the Wyatts? I don't know. He's going to come back with a beard instead of his mask.
But Kane's with Stephanie. Kane's with the Authority. The Wyatts, they haven't officially been with the Authority.
True.
And wouldn't that be interesting if all of a sudden the Authority started having the Wyatts and like kind of be like, all right, Shield, we're done with you guys. Let's go with the Wyatts.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry if I missed this, but did we ever find out where Kane was? Not in real life, but
he was filming See No Evil too.
Well, yes. Or did he just come back?
He just came back.
Okay, because I wanted something
Some
like that.
of these things will never get explanations.
See, but that's the thing. I wanted like a story behind that, and we didn't get one. Instead, he just took off his mask.
He's back from injury from the attack on the Wyatts from SummerSlam.
And so that...
And then took off his mask and wig and gave it to Stephanie.
And she smirked.
And she smirked and held it up like a trophy.
Yes. It's kind of gross. It's okay. It was Halloween.
Yeah, he just wrestled.
Yeah, it was just...
It's covered in sweat.
Yeah, it was kind of...
I just did the same reaction as you. Miz TV. Don't do that.
Awesome!
Awesome indeed. Miz TV. This is supposed to be the biggest Miz TV of all time because his guest tonight is the Hall of Famer, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. But he's not there. Shawn left the building.
Yeah, how dare he?
So we don't get Shawn on Miz TV. But Miz has something he needs to say anyway. Because if it wasn't for HBK, Randy Orton would not be the WWE champion. But like it or not, Randy is the face of the... And he gets interrupted by Randy Orton, who comes out on the Miz TV. And Orton's like, you know, Miz, I appreciate your view, but you're wrong. I proved on Sunday that I'm better than Daniel Bryan. And Miz, I mean... This just proves, Shawn not appearing on your show, that you're no longer relevant. You're no longer relevant. Nobody cares about you or Miz TV. And I mean, a few weeks ago in your hometown, I beat you down in front of your parents, and the crowd nearly cheered for me. I liked this a lot.
Did.
I did.
That's funny. I'm the complete opposite.
All right, why are you the opposite? And then I'll tell you why you're wrong.
That is never what you should say to a woman.
Okay.
But
is that why I'm single? What?
Perhaps. But I can't follow Orton when he speaks for some reason. I just can't follow him. I become disinterested by him.
But I'm not talking about how I liked how he said it. I'm talking about what he
Okay,
said.
because I'm talking about the whole package.
Okay.
I mean, he's a phenomenal wrestler, don't get me wrong. But it's like, oh, okay, he's going to be talking again, talking smack. Yeah.
Well, when you're champion, you gotta talk.
And that's why it's like, and what? This is like the 11th time he's a champion?
He is an 11-time, between WWE and World Heavyweight Champion, he is an 11-time champion. John Cena, between those two titles, is 14.
Amazing.
Ric Flair is panicking right now.
What?
Because he has a record of 16.
Ooh.
And they both have minimum 5 more years left each.
Yeah.
Minimum. So it's... And Flair did it without a brand extension. Flair did it when there was only one title.
Yeah.
They had 2 to kind of take turns with. Flair also wrestled. Well, he still kind of wrestles for like 9,000 years. It seems like. But the reason that I we kind of digress. The reason that I liked what Orton was saying was, this is, as we were saying, planting the seeds for Roman Reigns' face turn. This is planting the seeds for a Miz heel turn.
Yes.
And Miz was so much better as a heel than as a face. Because all of a sudden, Miz is just getting beat up left and right. No one's taking him seriously. He's losing every match. He got squashed on Raw.
Yeah,
and he tries to talk tonight and immediately gets RKO'd by Orton.
He kind of gets lost. He's recently been lost in the shuffle, and they've been making him look pretty weak for a while.
Yeah.
So it's good that this conversation happened. All I was saying was Orton doesn't interest me when he speaks. He just needs to fight or wrestle.
Now I'm thinking next week on Raw, Miz will be in the ring without an entrance, and he's going to lose in 2 minutes to Justin Gabriel.
Oh, no. I mean, that would be like the lowest of the low.
How about 3MB getting the win over Miz?
Oh, man.
Oh, can we do that, please? Can we please have 3MB beat the Miz?
No.
Jinder Mahal victory over the Miz. I want it to happen. Don't hinder Jinder.
So, I don't like 3MB. I'm sorry. At least it's not Heath Slater. That was my worst. It's like my arch nemesis.
Why do you hate Heath Slater?
He's just, his character is just very annoying.
That's his character.
Well, I don't.
That's what it's supposed to be.
It's working a little too well. Okay?
He does it very well.
Yes, it's so effective. I don't like you.
I disagree with you. I'm sure Rome would too if he was here.
Oh, I don't know. Rome and I we see pretty eye to eye, right? Rome, Invisible Rome. Yeah. I was looking. I'm like, wait, he's not
Actually,
here.
Rome is continuing to play his role of JTG and be nowhere on the show. We get a WWE shop ad. And today it's by Ziggler.
What happened?
Dolph Ziggler, 3 months ago, was the World Heavyweight Champion. 4 months ago. Now he's stuck doing the WWE shop ad.
And you know what's funny?
Oh my God.
Because they all actually, everyone who's been doing the merchandise promo, they've all been pretty good at doing it.
Right.
And I wonder if they have like a backstage bet, like, I can do this better than you, man. Because he did a pretty good job, even though it was just the strangest thing ever.
But the part that really upset me, like, he's going on the merch. He then picks up a World Heavyweight Championship replica title. And he's like, oh, remember the good old days.
And he's like, I miss you.
It was 3 months ago.
What hit me more was he picked up the Divas title.
And put it around his waist?
And put it around his waist and said that you can be a diva too. I want to be a diva. I'm like, what?
What happened to Ziggler? Why?
He at least made his cameo.
He didn't wrestle. He just tried to promote skateboards and a Ryback doll.
I love Ziggler. I miss Ziggler.
He's so good.
I know.
What are they doing?
I know. I understand. Sometimes I whisper.
I know. We talk about it constantly.
It's so creepy when other people whisper.
I'm glad it's not creepy for you, but it's creepy for me.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening because all these solid wrestlers are selling merchandise and giving promos for 24 hours. You can...
Well, you're thinking about it, like, we had, because, this week alone, you had the Primetime Players, who then got squashed, and then freaking Ziggler.
Yeah, and that was a surprise for me.
He's on the cover of their latest DVD.
What do you think they feel when management says, hey, tonight you're going to sell merchandise, so here's a script, do your best?
I honestly hope that if they're being thrown to do that, they have an incentive of like, well, based on how the sales are with the promo code, you'll get a cut of it.
Yeah.
Like you get
That's a good idea.
you get 1% or 2% of all the sales that are made with that promo code.
I hope they're listening to you.
I hope they do at least do that for them. But I mean, I want on Raw. I want Great Khali to do this.
Oh, you know what? The Miz can do it.
Oh, drop the Miz to do it now too.
They can put him in the lowest.
But the Khali would just be hilarious because it'd be like, just do promo code. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't think he speaks.
That's why it'd be hilarious.
Oh dear.
Because the promo code, I want the promo code to just be a bunch of question marks.
Cesaro can do it.
You're not listening to my joke.
I know. I'm just thinking of different people doing it. All right, sorry.
The promo code would be a bunch of question marks. Because you don't understand what Khali's saying.
And you have to count how many question marks to get it access.
Yes. Fandango would be hilarious too.
Oh, he'd be great.
We had Santino already. I mean, there's some guys that would make Zack Ryder he would just all sell it.
Yoshitatsu.
That would be another funny one because you wouldn't understand what he's saying.
Hey, yeah, you're right. Okay.
You don't really have much of a Japanese accent.
I don't, which is good in this case.
Wow.
In this case.
Okay.
You don't want me to have an accent, do you?
No.
All right then.
But you just said it's good not to have a Japanese accent. We, the people.
That is not what I said. You are taking my words out of context. All right. 6
Diva tag match. The Bella Twins and Natalya taking on AJ, Tamina, and apparently Alicia Fox is a heel again this week. Alicia, I love her to death. They switch her every week. One week she's a face, next week she's a heel, next week she's friends with AJ, next week she's enemies with AJ.
We don't know what's totally going backstage.
What is up with Alicia Fox?
She's just a moody woman, perhaps. That's just how she is.
Alicia has split personalities, apparently. Yes.
I like this match.
Fun Diva tag match. It delivered. I thought all the Divas looked good in it. And Natalya with the win, hitting the sharpshooter on AJ. So now are we setting up Natalya's next in line for a one-on-one Divas match? So another person for AJ to beat at Survivor Series?
I think that's what everyone's been hoping is for Natty to get a shot at the Divas title.
Give her 1 or 2 pay-per-views and then give Naomi 1 or 2 pay-per-views and then eventually finally have someone beat AJ for that title?
I mean, honestly, if anyone's going to get AJ right now, it could be Natalya. I mean, yes, in my opinion, that's what I think. Because Natalya just... There's so many people behind her, and she's such a solid wrestler. You know,
you don't really hear that on
but
TV.
But they can do something with her. I agree with you.
Well, they absolutely can do something with her.
I agree with you that you don't really see that because they're not giving her the push that she needs or the exposure that she deserves. So I really think that if they do something with her, she can really like nail AJ. Sounds funny, but yeah.
Right.
When I said nail.
No, I get it. You have a dirty mind.
I do have a dirty mind.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't.
But you do.
I do, kind of.
Well, you're whispering.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep, Natty with the win there. Then, what?
That was
just break something?
No.
Then we get a recap again of this is the second time we had this recap tonight. I didn't even mention it the first time. Of the whole thing from the end of Hell in a Cell with Orton, Triple H, Daniel Bryan, Shawn Michaels, Big Show, Stephanie McMahon, the hot dog guy, the custodian, everyone.
It was like a time filler, almost.
Yeah.
So.
Because we need time fillers because we had 4 whole matches tonight.
We did. But they were good matches.
Oh, no, all the matches were good. And then I like this, though. Then they showing these on WWE.com, and I've been enjoying them every week. They're doing like a sit-down interview with Michael Cole and Triple H. It's like if you had a weekly interview with the president every week. And Michael Cole is rereading what Otunga said on Raw, because Otunga made his triumphant return to WWE programming.
In spirit.
And Triple H just stopped him and announced that the Big Show has been banned for life. Because apparently being fired does not ban you.
I know, this is very strange stuff. Because wasn't he banned already?
He's been banned from arenas.
I mean...
He's been banned from the Titantron.
I don't know what anything new they're telling us at this point.
He's been banned to be via satellite. And he's broken all those bans.
Exactly. So I don't believe in these bans. I don't.
Well, then there's someone else behind it. It's not just Big Show. Someone's helping him.
Yeah, we'll find out. All the merchandise people!
Yes. Can we have Big Show do the merch on Raw?
Oh, yes!
Because I was like, how did he get in here? I'm selling merchandise right now.
He's outside at the stadium.
Oh, he's just like
selling them outside.
bootleg t-shirts.
Oh my goodness.
Selling Zack Ryder t-shirts that are spelled R-I-D-E-R.
That would be, I would buy a merchandise if I saw him.
That would be awesome. Main event time, 6-man tag. Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and John Cena versus the Real Americans and Damian Sandow. Very well-paced match. Went about a half hour.
Yeah, they gave him that much time.
They gave him a lot of time. Everyone got good stuff in. Cody and Goldust took heat. Cesaro looked great. I thought Sandow looked very good too.
They all looked good.
Cesaro did the deadlift on Goldust. This is when Goldust was taking a heat, where he did his like deadlift side slam, but he usually just picks him up while standing and deadlifts him. He did this from the ground. He was on the ground and got himself back up while carrying him.
So strong.
It's ungodly strong.
Yeah. I mean, he's amazing, and he showed a lot of his super strength and moves in this match.
I want to know how many hours a day he's in the gym, because it's several. It has to be.
I heard that after a show, a lot of times, a lot of the superstars want to go out and drink or whatever, and he says he has to go straight to the gym. So
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, and I'm a little obsessed.
Not in the least.
So, yeah, so he's very, like, dedicated because he really wants a title.
So as soon as you heard that news, how long you went straight to the gym and how long were you there?
I was like, oh, maybe he'll come here one day.
He'll just come to my random gym here. But Cesaro again, he swung Cody 23 times, according to my count.
I get dizzy watching him.
Yeah. I was actually afraid for Cody after a little while because Cody wasn't lifting his head up.
Yeah. Well, at the last swing, I think his
head kind of grazed.
And I think that's when Cesaro's like, all right, I'm going to stop.
We're done.
Yeah. So.
I still want him to swing El Torito with one arm and throw him in the 30th row. Because he can do
El
it.
Torito is unnecessary. Oops.
Well, we had no El Torito tonight.
Which was nice.
Because
they've been on a roll on SmackDown for a while. So.
Against 3MB.
Yes.
Only 3MB.
So, no
every match with freaking 3MB.
No 3MB. Right? I see a pattern here.
No Del Rio tonight either. And if he's continuing his feud with Cena, there's no Del Rio at all tonight.
So you think that the feud's going to continue?
Well, Del Rio gets a rematch.
Yeah.
Rematch clause. So he's still in the title picture. I hope Sandow remains in it.
Yeah, I like Sandow.
But we had a nice couple minutes of Cesaro and Cena in the ring.
That was the best part of the whole show for me.
Cena took the uppercut.
Yeah, he did.
Which was awesome.
And what was that? Is it suplex, whatever?
Which suplex? Oh, the side slam.
Yeah. I don't know how to say suplex or suplex.
Suplex.
Okay, suplex.
Like, I'm going to sue you.
So then why do they say supple?
I don't know.
I don't know. See, these are things that confuse me in the English
How often do they use the word supple in wrestling?
No, nowhere, but women like to use the word supple because we like to be supple.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. What does this have to do with anything?
I don't know. I was just talking about suplex, and this is why I can't pronounce things.
All right.
I make no sense.
No.
Go on.
Swagger locks Cena in the Patriot lock. Cena gets out of it and eventually gets the AA on Swagger for the win. To me, it made perfect sense for Swagger to be the one to get pinned here because it made Cesaro look great. If they're continuing the feud with Sandow and Cena, that's fine. Because it would not have made sense for the Real Americans to pin either Goldust or Cody in the 6-man.
Yeah.
But now they could have singles matches against each other and say Cesaro pins Goldust and Cody beats Swagger or vice versa. And, continue the feud with this because I'm liking the fact the Real Americans put in a main event.
I do,
and
too.
I also like the fact that the tag titles, especially the last few weeks, once Cody Rhodes and Goldust took the titles, tag titles have been involved in the main event, too. They've really, these last, 3 months, have made those tag titles worth a lot. And that makes me happy.
I'm glad you're happy. It makes me happy, too. This was probably, one of the best 6-man tag teams that we've seen on SmackDown in a long time, for me.
I don't know if I can say one of the best in a long time because we see them every week.
But but there's different people on it, and I liked this combination of people.
I like this combination because it was fresh. We didn't have The Shield. We didn't have Daniel Bryan. We didn't have, and we didn't have Orton.
But you got to think, like, every single person in this match was entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Super entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just the whole package was great.
Is this your match of the night?
Yes, it is, actually.
Because, I'm actually giving my match of the night to the Usos and Shield.
Oh, my gosh. That's my worst match of the night.
Why?
Because I like the Divas match more, and I like this one more.
Why didn't you like the Uso match?
I didn't say I didn't like it, but it's the
Why was it your lowest?
I don't know. I mean,
I thought
it was good, but
I thought it was a very competitive matchup.
I liked the characters and the drama, especially with
you building the thing,
Roman Reigns,
the teasing thing with Roman Reigns. You had Big E out there. Again, I wasn't a fan that Ambrose was one pinned, but I'm a sucker for a shock factor.
Yeah,
and that was that.
And maybe it's because, like, recently I haven't been so interested in the Shield, and now they're starting to catch steam for me again because of the Roman Reigns thing. But yeah, my match of the night, definitely the last one, or the Divas match.
Okay.
So.
Well, again, all 4 matches were entertaining. It's just our one problem was there were 4 matches and about 5 or 6 recaps.
Yeah, there was a lot.
That was the one downer tonight. You could have gotten rid of at least 2 of those recaps and had one more match.
I gotta say though, Ziggler on merchandise really entertained me for some reason.
It really made me sad.
It was like a combo sad,
and
this is
sad.
What is going on. I just wanted to bring it up again because
you know what they should do? They should just have legends do the shop thing.
Huh.
Get Bob Backlund to do the shop thing. Get Booker T to do the shop. Get Dusty Rhodes.
You bring legends, they're not going to do that.
Why not?
They're going to want to be, on the main stage. Well, I don't know.
It's a paycheck.
Yes, that's a paycheck Yoshitatsu would want,
It's a paycheck I want.
I would want it too. So, yeah, if you guys need an Asian merchandise seller, hit me up. Hit me up.
In case Yoshitatsu, be Yoshitatsu's valet.
I could. Oh, then it'd be so Asian. I can be Cesaro's valet.
No, just call yourselves the Asian Sensations.
We could do that.
There you go.
Sensational.
Well, there was already
Asians.
a sensational one.
I'm Asian.
You're okay. We're going to stop this now. And we're going to wrap this up because that wraps up SmackDown for this. Oh, actually, real quick, before I wrap it up, though, we do have to mention, because we forgot to talk about the WWE 2K14 contest that NXT is doing. So I really want to make sure I threw that out there before we ended the show because I almost forgot to do it. Sorry, Clum, but I just made it up to you. So WWE 2K14 is out. Create your favorite AfterBuzz wrestling host, whether it's me, Kaori, Rome, Ryan Klum, Kathy Kelly,
it's me,
Johnny LaQuasto,
it's me,
Walking Dale, that Showtime guy,
it's me,
Tom Connolly, Scott Narver,
it's me,
Marquea, any of them, even Phil, our executive producer. You create us, make us in the video game, do a nice little gimmick, and our entrance. Put it on YouTube, send it to either Clum, at Cluminator, or at Catherine Kelly on Twitter, and they're going to pick their favorite one, and you're going to win a property of WWE Performance Center t-shirt. Everyone internationally can submit, but the prize is only going to go to someone in the continental United States, unfortunately. But we'd love to see all entrants, and you could enter multiple times. In fact, I want to see someone create an AfterBuzz Royal Rumble.
Oh my gosh, that would be really cool.
Can someone please do that? And
someone do that.
Please let me win it, because that'd be amazing, and I would be happy.
That wouldn't be fair.
Why would that not be fair?
That would never happen in real life.
That'd be a fact.
I would win.
It'd be a fact.
It'd be like the tiny flyer right
I believe
here.
the deadline is for this Thursday, so make sure you get them in and send them in, because I really want to see them all, and I think it'd be entertaining. And we'll find out next week in NXT who the winner will be.
Can't wait. They should send them to you, too.
Well, why not? Why not, Marissa? Marissa tagged in for Phil just now. Marissa's in the booth now.
Oh.
Yep. Tag team back in the booth.
There we go. Tag team back again.
You would never know.
You wouldn't. And that kind of brought up the theme of the night, tag teams with all the tag matches.
Because you're my tag team partner tonight.
We were tag team partners tonight. Air high five. And that's going to do it for SmackDown. What?
You forgot one thing that you're usually very good at segueing, so just go ahead and do it.
Well, I kind of talked about iTunes at the beginning of the night, didn't I?
Okay, no, you didn't.
Well, I talked about iTunes with all the shows, Main Event, and NXT, and Raw, and SmackDown, and Total Divas, and any other show you do. I kind of did this already.
So go comment.
Go comment, leave us 5 stars, subscribe, YouTube, AfterBuzzTV.com, all that jazz.
I just realized that was a very good, discreet segue.
Wasn't it?
That was good.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, thank you. Thank you, studio audience. I appreciate it. So now for the fourth time, let's try to wrap up the show.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to see what happens with all this crazy WWE action, see what's going to happen, maybe more hints with Roman Reigns over the next week. But in the meantime, Kaori, how can people reach out to you?
Find me at Kaorious. Kaori is Twitter, Instagram, and all that jazz.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter, and you can join the garden by following me at CRosieVOC. I also host Eastbound and Down AfterBuzz as well as The Voice. Check AfterBuzzTV.com for the schedule for that. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. For Miss Kaori Takee, I'm Christian Rosenberg. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.